Ebusuan sabri de Ghana nsema ekoso nyina ne se a nurse fo and midwife fo won akọ strike wo don pan and won tools nyina guo se won adwuma bi nyina ne se allowances bi esa ban dem awon no wo kire mu se won atwe emma eno nti no won koku apai ema won gya adwuma for the past 1 week ebusuan e dey sem bebre abai nam so ma nipa bebre ahwere won kwa e wo man miai bebre a Mortuary Workers Association that to actually say the death toll is increasing. Ebusuan asem ya reho sema esanso ye hia asem kese pa. Na sanse we na Kevin Ekobedute la ebusuan or the reaction aba afa nurse for etuato a woti eho. Then na waka afa ho bedwudwem ama. Afa krampo no Ghana fu bi a kire won adwene afa nsunsan so a nurse for strike e de aba apomuden semsem eso. Then na waka also yebetie won na sanse we na busuan the minority side actually mu say the government has not done enough to engage the striking nurses and midwives in this matter. Afi krampo no busuan the Minister for Health Honorable Kwabena Minta Akando akasa then na waka earlier on obekire say the demands by the association is not captured in this year's budget, and for that matter, it will be difficult for government to meet their needs. And what is no that Chile said, so mpo ababenya super the TN7 na wakana. I say one sign I go back to their duty poster and no na wait me engage you meaningfully to resolve the impasse. Make sure so first time on this channel. Feel free say about subscribe to Musika TV. Now Facebook follow on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. And what you know, strike here. So do you think the nurses are demanding at the right time or not? Are they demanding too much? Because your allowances now, every woman. It is every day, Ebusuan. You know, say, "Ofa bebia, apomudin semno, eya to twasi because a nurse for with it in mind, or the healthcare delivery no mono. They have laid down their tools for the past 1 week, Ebusuan. It has increased the death toll in the country. Eya semaya sefem sempa. Na same way na Ebusuan. Kevin Ekobedute actually say he sees the strike action as a politically motivated one. Ebusuan dey tin okasa. Mpanyini say the way gwan no ono nim be bia ohye. Afen so no Kevin chire mu say so to mre a obekire siw. Ye take Kevin Taylor on the strike.
This woman, she led them. She didn't tell them to go on strike. She didn't tell them to put their tools down. She did not tell nurses to stay at home. Anyway, ni kunu ya NPP ni. I'm showing you what they are doing. But you see, I like the way this government is handling this. It is handling this without. Thank you, team. The team need the videos. We are sending me say, I'll just show you guys. Thank you very much, guys. Mami Way, in 2024, Mami Chow, what she said on TV. This is under Ekufuado. Miriam de ordinary kunu pictures bechramo. Munim de esi wa Ghana. Nice for munya butre. They are playing you. Mami Way, she's playing you. Now, Muntie Mami Way in 2024. Thank you, team, for bringing this in. This is GRNMA for boss 2024 and Ekufuado.
Now we are even still at the negotiation table. We are negotiating the new proposal we put forward. I must say this time is different from 2020. Okay. The government team is willing. They are always on time. They sit, they engage, we negotiate, and we are almost at the tail end. I know some of our members have complained that they are not getting information on the negotiation and all of that. But in truth, when negotiations need to start, we sign rules of engagement.
Okay.
And ideally, what you are negotiating on is not information that has to be thrown out there.
Oh, okay. So when you're at the table, you
no,
are not
you don't,
supposed to...
Exactly. You don't talk about all of these things. At the point when we were preparing the proposal,
yeah,
we engaged with the National Council. The National Councils engaged with the regional councils, the districts, and all of that. So what we put together as a proposal was input from every level. Okay. And beyond our own structure, we also involved the other nursing and midwifery associations that are in existence, and we took everybody's view on board and prepared that proposal. So now we are negotiating with the employer, And once we finish negotiating, whatever it is that we get, it will be announced. We'll sign it off and everybody will see. But let me say that the inputs that were received from our nursing and midwifery fraternity were all captured. But negotiation is such that you can have the best of proposals, but at the end of the day, the employer will make a determination of what it can actually give you.
So you see, in 2024, her conversation was all about, you see, it was so flexible. They gave the employer, that is the government, the room. Even when they are negotiating, they don't tell people what they are negotiating on. In fact, the employer is very accessible. Negotiating, technology. You saw her body language. They took it so mildly. They made the nurses feel say they were working. They were putting pressure. So they didn't even tell the nurses they're not them. So every time she would come and tell you, oh, we are negotiating with the employer. What really happened? Now, still in 2024, these are some of the things she said.
You told me earlier that you were at the negotiation table as far as, the salaries are concerned. Tell me a bit more about that. Who are you negotiating with and what is the proposal?
So we are at the negotiation table with government as an employer. And of course, government is represented by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. As part of the team, they have representatives from the teaching hospitals, from the MOH, from the CHAG, from the other agencies. But I'm not going to share the issues one after the other in terms of the proposal that we have put at the table. But of course, for the existing allowances that we already have, we have asked that if you take, for example, uniform allowance that we are taking, it's 400 cedis. 400 cedis for you to acquire 3 uniforms with all the accessories for the year. And majority of our comrades wear white, a few others wear green. You wear scraps, you wear this, you wear that. It goes with your breast watch. You are wearing your white canvas or white sneakers, your socks. If you are wearing
all of that 400 cedis
400 cedis a year. And it is not enough. We have asked for an increment in this. We've also asked for an increment in the fuel allowance that is given to our senior colleagues. And it is also in respect of the fact that the fuel prices have not remained the same since 2020. It has increased, and the pump price as per liter is at a figure that is not what we are actually receiving. So these are some of the issues that we have tabled. We have also said we need medical cover in terms of the work that we do. It will amaze you. We run a health fund for our members, and the kind of conditions that keep coming, and we feel that most of the deaths. We had a council meeting yesterday, and every region reported not less than 3 deaths of nurses. So we are asking the questions: what exactly is happening to our nurses and midwives? And we have even asked our Education and Research Committee to conduct a research for us to understand what indeed is happening, because these medical...
Any answers yet?
Not yet. They are yet to conduct that research, but we want to go deeper and understand what it is that is happening to us. Because if it is due to the work environment, our exposure to a whole lot of microbes that we are dealing with, or the kind of work environment...
So, you see what's going on? So in 2024 under NPP, she was even talking about letters. Amopefu allowance, no, or the letter, no, and corresponded to the amount of money they are giving. Today, how much is a letter? When she was speaking, a letter was 17 Ghana cedis. Today, a letter is 12, max 13. But she's not considering all those things. What the government is doing in 5 months. Now, this woman, was setting up this strike. Nukruni. You see, this is the husband of this lady. Nukunu, your friend, Bright Ofori Ampofu, constituency chairman, BNA Victory Walk, Saturday 23rd, November 2024. Nukunu ni, Bawumia and Onigina ticket so. So, dear Muhuno, let me tell you, this is the political part of it. Now, I want to talk to the young nurses in Ghana. It's my main already nurse for no. Or starting negotiations in 2024 May, no. She never saw it wise. She said they have to put their tools down. But a buying bar power 5 months. Yati petruso inflation akofom, meaning Adriane Buakofom, Nyoma Akofom no. She still insists some form Nyomanguo. Now young nurses no entine fie. Intend me no say we are young nurses now, Shemia. I don't have a problem with you demonstrating or going on strike. But the question is this the reason why I end the opim phobia? The Moko striker. The question here is Abina to Siciano. The honest truth is we all know Abina the 5 months. Your demands are modi to kufuado Abina odi 8 years in him. Any Abina the 5 months. Your demands you are demanding. You and I, we know that the government cannot fulfill all your demands. You people know, and it's a fact. The leadership of nurses, they are using the young nurses to do politics. And then I don't have any problem with a young nurse. The young nurse is relying on their leadership. But the leadership there is not thinking about the young nurse. As I speak to you, so opim phobia, it is because na opese yamau uniform allowance. Na opese yamau bibia yam famau. Now remember, say nurses for moko striker, mobusian foso eco hospital, they will not get access. Moyirenom enyem no moko hospital, they will not get access. Oya nurse na ukunu eyarea oko hospital, onya access. So your strike, it affects mwankasa. But the question here is, in 5 months, a government that inherited all this debt, do you think that that government, you staying at home or your leadership telling you to stay at home, that government can fulfill everything? After a government that was in power promised, whilst they knew they could not, na NPP are buying them say, they knew the agreement they were signing with you. They had connived with your leadership to lie to you because they needed your vote. The reality is, the NDC government is not fighting you. The NDC government, at the end of the day, came to meet an agreement. The NDC government, at this point, we all know, is just 5 months. So, how do you expect this government to raise that money? A government and what power, your politics with you people. How do you expect the government to raise the money? The government cannot. But the government can sit and look at your demands and say, at least we can at least take care of 30%. Because what we came to meet, any reasonable government, say politics, any campaign, any elections, no reasonable government will give you that short time to say, I will, at the end of the day, fulfill every single demand on this document. Now you understand. It is all the next thing the leadership, they are misleading you. They are misleading you because our priorities, it is more political than you, what you need. And I don't have a problem with the nurses who are sitting at home, because when the leadership says, Mamumbe Juma, but at the end of the day, is it worth it? You staying at home and the opim phobia. The reason why leadership, I'm opim phobia, we can still fight for what we want by saving lives, because this agreement wasn't signed by this government, and the government that signed the agreement, your leadership knew they were not going to fulfill it. The government cannot fulfill this. Let's be real. We are trying to get out of the mess Mami Way any Kunu party they created. This woman and her husband's party, the mess that they created. We are all trying to get out of this mess. This woman, Nikunu political party, the mess they created. This government, it did 5 months. NPP was in power for 8 years. You people never went on strike to put everything down to allow innocent people to die. Some people are doing politics. This woman is doing politics because a Nikunu party in free power. Because they want to use you, the young ones. The government cannot. And this is the reality. Let's not play with this. Let's not act. Let us not pretend. The earlier you tell your leadership to sit and be reasonable and meet the government halfway, for the government to be able to at least fulfill some part of it. The government cannot fulfill everything because sa agreement na maami we di mutiko sha ase no. This woman knew that her husband's party, NPP no, 8 months to elections, they were not going to do this job. So more nurses for no, more person you makoya maami we no say mo strike demonstration tia na mo change no. For 8 years she could not get you these things. This is the woman I was some pamono. When also will rise against him, say, I was some change, because for 8 years, if she could not get this for you, then just 5 months, or person because she's doing this because her husband's political.
Yes, that is his opinion. Now, Samson Winner, the Minister for Health, Honorable Kwabena Mintakando Chim say, yes, next they have that economic right to demand for better conditions of service and allowances and all that. But they cannot engage government whilst they are on strike. And until to me, unless a phone call back to their duty post and resume work. Now paying for them. In same beer here will be no on farmer paying for them. Now by a crowd say they will meet their needs as they are demanding. Honorable Minister for Health.
So a nurse for the midwife of war. One of them do a juma at to her cotton fee say. Ye ojuma ye ni akatua se nurse ni ana midwife ni akatua o gene bosumi bi ato nchen a wo nwanam bi a eka ho ye friend say allowances ya wono mo nsaka na abandada no na dan kwakufu ado abreso no wo mni mpanyifo tena ase aban ne tena ase ye nhihye ya hodo gu akwan so se eniema a wo mususu se ebeka akatua no ho a ebeboa mu adwuma akoso no wo mdi gu apono so e ma aban no agiton mu enti Sanya no omo hwese aban fufuro baaye no obeye ni nyina ade ama wonom aban se na hoodin enso papa enti enko omumra no montena se no munsesa adwe na so anesefo yi ese wonom abuafu esanse wo mu hu ne se aban ye saade a na ode wanim eyefom enti omogyae atifie na no na soafo yeru akwabena minta akando ehese wonu no nipa a otene se wo begina mu se kasama afode ama anesefo no wo mafa na so se nurse fo ni tifi a enkasa hudi anase ntemgyina fo adwuma a esese wono ye ewo wono mafa no enye yie enti osre wonom se animu animu ya wo mu san kɔ na wo mu kɔye adwuma na wo mu nyina nka wo san ba kyiri mu na fei nhyehyɛ ne ewo ho no yenhwɛ mu de ebetumi aboa de aban ho beso de aban ho nso no na wo mu de yi ato yie na bibia akoso na sakoba ne se yesi we ni ye pechinchin a yensa nka ne ne ene china de a ene na ye ma na be ha adwene enti won de oka nyina nse obi anko ne nwuma so na onko ye adwuma kasa ne nyamo no na ya de a National Labour Commission wonom ka se wote atua ne nti ono so ekoje injunction de beto wonom se strike no eye illegal na so anesefo ne midwife fo chese wo mu de omu nti se odogo bi enu abenti yewura minta akando se mun sign ko na munko ye adwuma no na ombe ye ntemgyinafo ne mpanyimfo ne aban edi nsawoso na aboa na de mo hwehwe no omotimi de yie ato yie
na busia utie Ghana fo bi nsɛmsam a wɔka akwese de nurse-fo no etuate anwate no ede owie ne kɛse pa aba apomden dwumedi so ɛwɔ man ne man nam so krampo ma ya hwere nipa bebree across the country a ɛyɛ ayerehosɛm ɛsanso yɛ asefefsɛm na Ghana fo bi ede nsɛm atogo akasafa the ongoing strike actions by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association ebusia pese yekutie nsɛm bi a wɔde atogo afa sansɛm no ɛho
ɛtu omuka na mepa omucho omunko no mpanyimfo wɔ hɔ ɔmfa omunkasa na omumbra aban hɔ na ɔbɛhwɛ aban so ɔtie asɛm nti ɔbɛtie ɔmu na ne ɛyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ no ɔnyɛ ma ɔmu ɛnyɛ saa ɛbɛha yɛn
adwuma bia penimu wom nti aka me fisa nka ɔmu ne ɔmu peni no ɛntena se na ɔmu ne nka sɛ ɔhaw sɛ ne yɛwɔ mu na ɔmu peni no nso ɛntu anamɔ ɛmfa ho ansa na ebia ɔma take decision bi sɛ ɔmo kɔ strike nya de openia ɛna obenya nti bi sɛ wo kɔ strike no sɛ wo papa ɛna yare ɛna yɛde na kɔ hospital baby ɛna wɔn so kodo nurse ni bia ɛni hɔ ɛna owu a also how will you feel how will you feel because you see oh my God na ye Christopher yesum nyame ye do ye ho nti na nka sɛ yɛn so yɛ sacrifice because sɛ bi obi so awie o te fie onye adwuma ye but also enche ababe tu ya oka
abai onye no ntu omo ka kire se onu yetua ne ka ye ntua ne ka nko no nya hode nko gina ba bi enko kasa enko parliament edi se de yetua ne kalme ne nya ho edi me ne nya hode no so otimi twa nurse for so kan fum nya hoden no mo so to mo e panacho pa ban de otiso de ontiso mo nyina so mo de ne ka o fema o mo because say wo ye adwuma na entua aka de e ya pa say stock ra keke hayi so ye adwuma hana pagya ko na pagya ba na entua o ka at least do we fa me ne makura yi se ma entua ne ka next time no me fa ntie se o mutua o mo ka no mutimi e be hwe ye o mo ne kura ye
aban ne hwe o mo ntutuye bi a ebetima aboa nurses fo no so ana se de be ya mo wetima ya adwuma na amaye no mesre ye excellency John Dramani Mahama se omboa omo ena health ministries no se eboshe bi a omo hye omo no omo ndi so se de be ya omo so be ya adwuma amaye ye nyina ya hontoye because ye nim se mo politicians die mo yare kura mo betima kwatwa ticket ekwa abrochire akwasa mo ho yare ya ye to abana ma won so ye
enu echi krampo no mortuary workers betwe mo yedwuma wo Ghana mortuaries ahodo atugu akire mu say esane nurse for strike and work on into no ama owu and as a death toll is on the rise ibusuya eya say be very alarming and until we are pleading to authorities in the country to intervene as early as possible to restore this impasse in the health front, because the implications is something that we cannot bear. Because when someone dies, we cannot bring the person back to life. So we urge our authorities in government, especially those in the health sector, to resolve this matter as early as possible to ensure sanity in the healthcare delivery in the country. We are calling on the nurses. People are calling you to call off the strike and come and engage. So please, yentie nsema honorable kanu na yenfa strike ne bre wiye na yenko ye negotiation na mije de say bi papa fi mu aba nje busu yansa bi de odidi na wahwe hu ye, because wan hwe na so koyare de a nyame ambemu a asem kese pa na ebeto. Until we wait for the updates on this matter, whether the call by the minister for the striking nurses to come back to work whilst they engage governments, will be seen as supreme, and I say it will be contrary. Until busuya sabi de some American kind, oh yeah, why they are not in a year, because capital actually say strike na work on. I question the NPP phone na HH, and until I question they are demanding too much from government, but that's the economic right, whether it is politically motivated or not. They deserve to be given a better condition of service per the constitution. Until busuya sabi there is a next phone some no be here. Now feel free say in the comment section. Do you think they are demanding the thing too early? Because government is just 6 months old. And it's a question they are saying we could have for so a buying a continuous process. In the next phone some be here. So in the comment section. Bye bye.